WAP-TECH on battery. Here we go. Definitions under, you read the title, let's go. Large bore firearms. This has nothing to do with pigs. Squeal. They are listed as having more than a 1/2 inch bore diameter. Exceptions are given to anything that would be useful in hunting. The reasoning is that military-style cannons, rocket launchers, and yes, literally a miniature nuclear warhead were technically large-bore guns. And I want to point out that Little Boy, a nuclear warhead, was listed legitimately, for very good technical reasons, as being a large-bore cannon because internally it had a target and it fired a projectile. It's just simply trivial that on impact it would literally fission and create a thermonuclear warhead effect. Well, actually just an atomic bomb. A gun that it was listed as a gun. Okay, seriously. But anyway, they have to be regulated, which means you can't just own one. Large bore weapons are defined as any weapon that isn't already grandfathered in as being just a big bore weapon because it had to be. That also included muskets and stuff like that because big bores were used because then you could get away with using lower pressures and weaker metal and make them easier. Really scaled down cannons are actually quite easy to make. See also, potato guns are listed as a large bore firearm because they are. But then again, you can use the same weapon to shoot a t-shirt. Anything that the Attorney General find is generally recognized by the population for sporting purposes at the time is excluded from these restrictions. So it can be more than 1 inch, or more than 1/2 inch diameter, more than 50 caliber. But if it's built exclusively for the purpose of taking out a tank or killing somebody, it's no, because you can buy one again, you can just pay a tax stamp. Next, long guns. This is the definition and wording I use because it's a word. The word long, relatively long guns, anything from, well anyway, firearms designed to be held by both hands. You can't hold it with one hand. Braced against the shoulder, with a buttstock usually, with a longer barrel than other classes under small arms, because large arms are anything that can do a great deal of damage that is of no practical value in hunting or self-defense. Meaning if it is designed to be, this is the designation, shut your mouth, if the device is designed within one shot or one trigger pull, meaning machine guns, to take out more than one assailant, that's considered unnecessary and extreme, and or random or mass murder. Shooting a grenade at a bunch of people is not precise precision executions. We power our cars with beans. Next, Mr. Methane. Next, shotgun. This is a designation of something that is designed, redesigned, or made or remade weapon that is not concealable on the person, that uses the energy of an explosive. Okay. It is in a fixed shell or cartridge. I'm going to use that vaguely. This is a generalized definition. This is a weapon that uses cartridges that are metal or plastic. Paper cartridges, read quick load muzzle loader, are excluded. But they can be included. They're not automatically green lighted. Okay, here we go. Fixed shotgun shell or cartridge, depending on what you want to call it. It's called a shotgun shell. Fires either a number of ball shot or single projectile slug for each single pull of the trigger. Only. It can fire multiple shots. Now, what if you load in to a shotgun barrel a bunch of primered bullets, so it fires, they're all coming out at once. You still only pulled the trigger once. Yes, definitions are stupid because people get a really weird ways of getting around them, or just doing something stupid and strange. Tal Flatermouse, really cool channel. Let's load it up with name any item. I challenge you to find one he hasn't fired. Fun channel. Through a smooth bore, that's the designation for shotgun. Yes, it can have a rifled choke, and it can also be a fully rifled shotgun, but they are classed from manufacturer versus you and I modifying or building at home as being, X, Y, and Z. Intended to be fired from the shoulder, again with two hands, that sort of thing. Long gun. What if you make it to where you can fire it by one hand? It's not a shotgun anymore. It's treated as a other weapon, pistol, or other. Or short-barreled rifle or short-barreled shotgun. What's a rifle? It's a variation under long guns. Yes, there's more than one kind. Designed or redesigned or made or remade that is not concealable on the person again. Unless you're 8 feet tall. Uses the energy of the explosive in a fixed metallic cartridge. Again, if you just pour gunpowder down it, it's not, that fires only a single projectile for each single pull of the trigger. And yes, there are variations of it where if the gun can take a shotgun shell, that's outside of regulation. But at that point, have you converted it to a shotgun? Gray area stuff is what people mess with here. Intended to be fired from the shoulder. And it has a rifled bore. Now we get to pistol, revolver, handgun, designed or redesigned or remade weapon that is conceivable on the person. Concealed weapon. By definition, it could be concealable. Open carry in Oregon, it's not concealed, but it can be. Has to have special treatment. Uses the energy of an explosive. Again, what if it uses an electromagnetic charge? What if it uses compressed air? What if it uses a rubber band? What if it's an EMP gun? What if it's a microwave oven magnetron? What if I build it to fire ball lightning because someone figured out how to do that a couple of years ago? It's not regulated. It's literally a plasma rifle out of T2. But it's not regulated anymore. It's just rules. Anyway. It fires only one projectile for each single pull of the trigger. If you load it up with shotgun shells, is a pistol illegal? What if the manufacturer built it that way and asked them to do it? Through a rifled bore. What if it's a smooth bore? Intended to be fired when held in one hand. Intended. A machine gun pistol, aka a phone booth combat weapon. Because they're crap, in my opinion. Handgun-styled machine gun, capable of firing fully automatic or in burst mode, 3 or 4 or 2. Chambered for pistol cartridges. It's the type of cartridge that's being misappropriated. Or semi-automatic version of an automatic one. It's against the rules. You've reduced the size. You cut down, chop the barrel, chop off the buttstock. Changed the magazine from being this way to this way so you can carry it by taking it apart. Break down weapons. Concealability and the ability to use military-grade destructive power in a smaller package. Read also your anger, if you have it, towards briefcase nukes. This is the reasoning. Here we go. Smoke them if you got them. Threaded barrel to allow installation of whatever. Suppressors, flash suppressors, noise suppressors, combinations, or compensators. Or just something to keep it from throwing sparks and starting a fire because the barrel's too short, because the powder load is made for a longer barrel. Next. Under 50 ounces of weight. Or, excuse me, over 50 ounces of weight. If it's a heavy pistol that you would not practically fire with one hand, especially if it's been modified to where you can fire it with two hands, but it's almost the same size as a pistol, it's basically a chopped down version of some other weapon. In this case, it's a machine gun chopped down. Okay, next. A submachine gun is defined as an automatic carbine, that's how old this idea is, magazine-fed gun. To fire pistol cartridges, because you can fire more of them because they're smaller, so you can pack more of them in a magazine. And it's used by military forces, SWAT, and others in close quarters combat. A pistol caliber weapon that's easy to control and less likely to over-penetrate the target to wound, injure, and or cause submission in the ones you're attacking, but if necessary, you can kill them. This is an idea that it also won't go through a wall as easy. Same reason you use a riot round, a shotgun. It'll stop at a wall and won't hit somebody. If you can't see your target, you shouldn't be able to hit it and hurt it. This is the only exception to it. And these are really just machine guns that have been scaled down on purpose to be slightly weaker. And they're actually used because they can suppress a person firing at you, scaring them into stopping. And you can injure them. And you can salvage the person instead of killing them. Versus hitting them with .223, overgrained, overcharged, long barrel rifling, pegging them in the head, surgically taking them out, but killing your target instead of throwing them in prison where they belong so they can get their butts kicked by tougher people. Next, machine gun. This includes the weapon itself, or any part of it, basically, that is needed to make something that fires multiple projectiles for each single pull of the trigger. Pretty simple definition. Most of us understand what that means. Even though the word machine gun is a stupid word. Fast repeating gun, if you defined it with that naming, would bother people because then a butt-stock modification like a bump stock would be a converter to machine gun. Because it's the effect, not the name. Or not. Again, let's argue. Whether any of it's assembled or not, because people would say, well, it's dismantled, it's just a piece on the wall. No, you got the parts for a machine gun in the room. You can assemble it in less than 2 minutes. Screw you. You're violating the law. Tommy guns. Machine guns from the military that were recently invented when this rule came out. Whether assembled or not, any part that was produced for no other reason than to convert a normal gun into a fully automatic machine gun. Again, large capacity magazine, or no, if it causes rapid fire. If it only fires the 3 cartridge in a 3 cartridge limit Californication compliant gun, it's still considered illegal because it fires them too fast. Versus putting in the same size bullet case and just putting in shot shells. Contents. Put in pellets. If you're curious, because it's a rifle barrel, you can hit at 3 feet, 3 shots really close together, like you could with shotgun. But now you have an extended reach because all 3 bullets are hitting within a group at a very long distance. You could precision hit somebody with 3 shots by firing rapidly, because you could do that. That's actually the reason that rapid fire, even 3 shots, multiple bursts especially, is against the rules, because if anybody's curious to do this, I'm going to tell you, you lock down the muzzle of the gun to a frame in front of you. Doesn't matter what it is, make it not move. And then at the back, you hold it still. Now you can actually keep the thing on target, and you can hit an extremely tight grouping with each shot, with each pull. But if it fires automatically, you can throw, Stephen Paddock style, 100 rounds downrange, but you can hit one person. And you can use really low caliber, which hurts a lot, is cruel, but they're going to die. See, people thought of these things when they were making these rules. You can decide. And yes, these rules were eventually applied to people who grabbed, I'm not kidding, the guns off of old crashed planes and used them in self-defense. Literally airplane-grade, shoot-down airplane machine guns that would shoot between the propellers, and just took them up to a hand crank. This also excludes Gatling guns and stuff like that. Personal defense weapon. Now, if this isn't spin doctoring, I don't know what is. This is a compact automatic weapon that can defeat enemy body armor conveniently by non-combatant and support troops. Civilian version of a fully automatic weapon that's designed to go through body armor. And it's called a personal defense weapon. No, this is a cop killer gun. Let's spin doctor it. Close quarters battle weapon for special forces and counter-terrorist groups, and it's excluded from you being able to buy. But because the patents are so blatantly open, you can literally sit there and just build one. And it's called a personal defense weapon. No, it's not. It's called a murder weapon at that point. This is specifically designed to kill people wearing body armor. It's not just the gun groups that do this kind of spin doctrine. Any firearm, muffler, or silencer, any part of it is restricted. Anything. Firearm is any weapon, or is designed or made readily converted to expelling a projectile by action of explosive, or just the frame of receiver of any weapon. And especially if it's designed to be concealed, and this includes short-barreled rifles, shotguns, and etc. are not regulated. But again, get a tax stamp and you can own these. Inch lengths, 26 inches overall, 18 inches for the barrel. Or 26 inches overall with a 16-inch long barrel. Just keep it at 18 inches, you're legal. Again, if it isn't, you can get a tax stamp. The rest of it includes explosives. This has been your definition mess for the day. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.